Hola a todos, ¿qué tal? Soy Trini de Brickfield Idiomas y hoy vamos a repasar cuando utilizamos infinitivos y gerundios. Es una cosa que solemos tener bastantes dudas, sobre todo en nivel B1, pero en el nivel B2 también hay veces que nos liamos un poco. Así que vamos a verlo porque es súper importante. El problema de los infinitivos y los gerundios es que en español, normalmente cuando ponemos dos verbos juntos, el segundo siempre aparece en infinitivo. Esto no es así en el inglés. En el inglés, dependiendo del verbo que va delante, el segundo verbo aparecerá en infinitivo o en gerundio. Y aparte de esto, también hay otras reglas para saber cuándo tenemos que utilizar infinitivo o gerundio. Aquí os lo voy a resumir en 3 reglas para el infinitivo y 3 reglas para el gerundio. Si os acordáis de ellas, el 95% de las veces lo haréis bien. Así que vamos allá. Okay, I'm going to explain you in English when we use the infinitive. We always use the infinitive after adjectives and adverbs. So, when we use a verb after an adjective, for example, we always use the infinitive. In the sentence, this is easy to do. Okay, after easy, that is an adjective, we say to do. When I refer to infinitive, I am talking always with infinitive with to. No bare infinitive. And bare infinitive is an infinitive without the preposition to. In this case, if I am talking about infinitive, I refer to infinitive with to. The second thing that you need to know when we use an infinitive is when we talk about the purpose of something. When I say why I am doing something. For example, I say, I study to pass my exam. Why do I study? Because I want to pass my exam. And the third is after some verbs. This is the most complicated because you need to learn those verbs by heart. But I put in here a list with some of those verbs and I give you an example with a sentence. For example, with the verb want. I can say, I want to eat pizza. Now we go with the gerunds. When we have to use gerund, we always use a gerund after a preposition. For example, I can say, wash your hands before eating. The preposition before indicates that after that, if I say a verb, I need to say it with ing. Also, we use the gerund when a verb is acting as the subject of a sentence in a kind of an activity. For example, running is healthy. Running is the activity, but is also a verb, but in this case, it's like the subject of the sentence. And finally, we use the ing after some verbs. Again, I put in here the list, but for example, we can use it in the sentence, I don't mind cooking. After the verb mind, I use the verb with ing. I don't mind cooking. Now I'm going to explain you because in English there are some verbs that after them we can use infinitive or gerund, it doesn't matter, and the meaning doesn't change. Those verbs I separate in 2 groups. The first one are the verbs of feelings. After like, love, prefer and hate, you can say ing or infinitive. For example, I can say I like reading or I like to read. And the meaning is basically the same. And another group are the verb begin, start and continue. After these 3 verbs, the same. I can say I start to work or I start working. And finally, there are some verbs that after them the meaning is going to change. Those verbs I'm going to put in here as well, the difference in a column so you can see it better. But for example, I give you an example with the verb remember. Well, remember and forget, they work very similar, okay? But when you remember something in infinitive, using an infinitive verb after remember, is because you say that now you have to remember something that you have to do in the future. For example, I must remember to bring my books for the next lesson. And when I use remember with an ing verb after, it's because you remember something that happened in the past. For example, I will always remember my trip to Egypt. But I put in here, as I told you, a list with those verbs, there are not a lot, only 6, and the difference between one and the other. Well, I hope that you like this type of video. If you like it, give us a thumbs up, and of course, I hope you leave a comment, and if you like it, please subscribe to our channel. Bye bye!